What's up, everyone? My name is Mike. Welcome back to my channel. I think we're live. I think I got this finally. I think you can hear me, but I will find out that very shortly here. I don't quite know the delay that's on this. So with that being said, we have an amazing drop coming here to VeVe. I just want to make sure my sound works before I kick things off here. If you are watching this, please give this video a like. That really helps me in this channel and helps me with this platform, as well as we do have sound here, so this is good to know. We have Amazing Fantasy number 15 coming to VeVe this Monday. That is tomorrow, 8 p.m. PST. If you are on Eastern Standard Time like I am, that is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're getting Amazing Fantasy number 15, something that we've been looking forward to for quite some time now. And very interesting that VeVe went ahead and made this a super limited drop. That means 10,000 editions amongst the 5 different rarities. I'm going to share my screen here so that we can take a look exactly at what we are looking at for Amazing Fantasy number 15. Once again, if you're just joining here, thank you so much for joining us. If you have any questions, if you have your own strategy that you're going to go at with this Amazing Fantasy number 15 drop, please leave it in the comment section or in the chat if you are live. Love to know what you're thinking about with this drop, as well as why do you think they went super limited with this one. Here we are. We've got the 5 different rarities here. And here we are from common to secret rare, the common, the original, and then we've got the uncommon where it's black and white except for Spider-Man. The rare and the ultra rare are the VeVe Artists rendition, so the VeVe exclusive covers, and then we get the super secret rare, variant there for that, which means the secret rare is a 250 edition. For that 250 edition, the common 6,000, uncommon 2250, rare 1,000, ultra rare 500. Now this is going to be incredibly interesting where the prices are going to find themselves for this, considering this is the biggest comic that we will have on the platform. And if we have something to compare it to, it's Marvel Comics number 1, which has, I believe, 60,000 editions or somewhere around that. And just seeing what that's at, we're going to take a look at that a little bit later. So this being 10,000 editions, the best thing that VeVe did with this drop is that they waited for them to mandatory KYC, that anybody going for this drop must KYC. So that's been an incredible thing that they've done, so that they're really rewarding the users that have been with them for a long time. I'm sure probably up until tomorrow morning you might be able to KYC. And let me just get this out of the way. Nothing on this is financial advice. You should be meeting with your own, financial advisors, whatever it might be for. Anything that I talk about here and making up your own mind. I'm going to be talking about my strategy for this drop. This is a 20 gem drop as well. So they're straying away from that 699 drop. That's also interesting that they are doing that for this, but it makes complete sense for this. They really could have dropped, they could really have made this. I actually had a dream last night that they released that it was a 250 gem drop, so I guess I was a little bit more prepared for that after that dream for this 20 gem drop. But just very interesting in my own thought process on this, and I'm just trying to gather my thoughts right now. This was actually released, the announcement actually came on My Collectibles stream, so if you're not following My Collectibles, definitely check out My Collectibles. That's Collectibles with an A, but I'm sure most of you are already following him. This was actually released by Alex, Reverend Alex, the on his stream, and that was really, really cool to see, and really cool to see that, VeVe's going out there and kind of rewarding the content creators, because VeVe hasn't done a lot of marketing, which makes sense, or surrounding VeVe, being that they've got so many things that they're working on bringing to the platform, and KYC was a big one, and cash out was another hurdle that they had to get past. So that really amazing to see VeVe going that route with what they're doing, and saying thanks to, I guess, their content creators, which have kept them, at least kept a community building aspect around VeVe, which I personally love. Yada Dog, thank you so much for being here and for typing in the chat. Let's go. Sound is good. Thank you. This time I've got it. We're on a roll here. 2 in a row that I've got sound coming on. You're definitely hyped, and red chili peppers. This is causing a massive gem squeeze. So if you're new to VeVe, gem squeeze, essentially when there's a big drop coming up, people will sell off their collectibles to get enough in the bank, in their wallets of gems, that they can go ahead and purchase that drop if they don't get it on the drop. So that causes prices to go down. So this is something that we've seen and come accustomed to, at least at the beginning of the year and late last year. So this is where my strategy is at least gonna take a hold. I'm also gonna be putting more money into the platform, and I'll be probably doing that tonight, but not to get Amazing Fantasy number 15. So I'll talk about that very shortly. Yada Dog, so nice covers. The UR is my favorite, but a secret rare would be nice. A secret rare would really be nice. I think we're gonna get the secret rares if I I think I need a little bit of luck on this drop. It's been I didn't get the Darth Vader ultra rare, didn't get the Boba Fett ultra rare. I think my luck has been saving itself for this drop. So I'm thinking I'm going to get a secret rare for this. It will be really interesting to see how difficult this drop is to get. It'll be interesting to see, bots. How many bots will there be for this? I don't know if KYC... I've seen things going around that people can purchase like KYC bots and whatnot, but I don't know. I think it's great that they dropped this closer to mandatory KYC, which was July 30th, as opposed to waiting on this, because that definitely gets people out of the way of thinking or more bots coming to VeVe later as opposed to right now. So I think it's great that they've gone ahead and done this the way that they have. Yada Dog was saying he likes the ultra rare. It does look pretty cool. I love it. I like it. I am a fan of the uncommons with the black and white and like highlighting a character and keeping that character colored. I've always liked that with the uncommons. I'm a big fan of black and white. There's something to be said about the original common cover, and then secret rare always just because it's secret rare personally for me. So I just hope I get the drop. I don't know what you are all thinking about how difficult this drop is going to be. I know I will be going for it. My wife will be going for it. So that is, at least we've got 2 accounts that we can go ahead and go for it. And it'll be interesting. Everything tomorrow is going to be interesting, because if we look at where Marvel Comics #1 is sitting with, I believe, 60,000 editions, it's a grail like on the platform in terms of comics. So let me see if I can pull that up right now and to see where everything is sitting with that, because that's all we've got to compare this to. And there's been a lot of people saving up for this drop. Now, my strategy is actually not to purchase AF15 in the marketplace right away. I'm hoping to get one on the drop. I might keep enough gems in reserve to try to purchase a common or an uncommon, but I'm not counting on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take advantage of this gem squeeze tonight. And I've been looking at some things that I might want to purchase. I didn't sell as much as I wanted to leading up to this, so I actually don't have that many gems in my wallet right now. but I'm going to be putting more fiat into the platform. I'm going to be buying more gems tonight, and it's just a matter of how many do I want to get. What collectibles do I want to get into? I don't think I'm putting in anything crazy. Maybe upwards of 1,000. Darth Vader is at 1,300 right now. I kind of hoped that I would have got Darth Vader, but I don't think I'm gonna go more than 1,000. Not a huge amount or anything like that, but I do think that I'm gonna be focusing on golden moments. I do want a Winnie the Pooh golden moment. I'm gonna open up the app while I'm talking about that as well. But Marvel Comics #1, I could probably want to get a common at least for that while we're in this gem squeeze. But I do want to focus on things that have dropped quite a bit during this gem squeeze to be able to get the upside when we're past this gem squeeze, especially if AF15 brings in a lot more people into the platform, especially comic collectors. So, it's always that balance of, is AF15 going to bring comic collectors into the platform? So should I be focusing on comics? Or is AF15 just going to bring attention in general to the platform, and most things will go up after the drop? And how long after? Because we could see like a major focus on Amazing Fantasy #15. So lots to consider with my game plan for that. That's why I went live here. I kind of want to talk through this with everybody, see what their whole game plan is. And while I'm talking, I'm trying to multitask here and see if I can pull up Marvel Comics #1. Oh, I'm in collectibles, comics. All right, I am going to share my screen here. Let's get to some comments. Yadadog, life change. So, if you get, what is it, 1962, and that's a secret rare, because with these comic drops, it's not by edition, or what's that? It's not by comic cover. It's 1 through 10,000 edition number spread amongst all the different commons through secret rares. So if you get that 1962 and it is the secret rare, that's going to be life changing, and that's going to be huge. What that could go for, really. Yadadog from Ireland, amazing, and wishing you lots of luck to Ireland as well. If you get anything, I'll be if I get the drop, I'll be super happy for sure. Super Holy Grail. Mercury Road 55. If I don't get it on the drop, I try to buy it right after the market opens if it's below 200. So that's why I like creating a price prediction, not because like I'm set in, I've done my research and I think that it's going to land at this price. My price predictions have always been, if it falls below this, I'll be more than happy to get it below that price that I'm predicting that it's going to be. So like Mercury Road 55, you just said there, if it falls below $200, I'm kind of at that $200 mark too with this. But really, like, let's take a look at Marvel Comics #1 and see what that's sitting at right now. But you say you're going to try to get it right after the market opens. I don't think I am, personally. Unless it falls below like an amount that I'm really not expecting it to. I think we've still got a long ways to go for VeVe to get the ball rolling. I think once VeVe starts like a marketing campaign that a lot of people see, and it gets a lot of media attention in terms of like online articles, blogs, whatever it might be, I think that's when I'm going to get more serious on my purchasing. But I think we're a bit of ways away before we get something like that. Before we get the ball rolling with that. Otherwise, we'll have to wait for it to drop down in the future. To be honest, and this isn't financial advice, that's what I'm kind of banking on, is that it is going to drop down in the future. I think because it's the thing that we're focused on right now, and a lot of people are focused on right now, that's going to cause the price to pump. Eventually, that's going to come down. Eventually, there won't be that hype around it. So that's why I'm not focusing my attention where everyone else's attention is. And I'm not saying like everyone's. I'm just because there's definitely people taking advantage of this gem squeeze. I just don't want to focus my attention where everyone's attention is at. I'm going to go over here and try to take advantage of this gem squeeze and get some things on discount. What I believe is on discount for now. It's also good to open the app and see kind of the where things are trending right now, in terms of everything, especially with like the collectibles. The collectibles are always like what's trending right now, so you can go across the top and see what's going down. But I also have the Ecomi wiki, which I'm going to pull up here and get rid of my face because I'm sure nobody wants to see that. But this also, and let me drag this across maybe. Nope. Let's see here. Bear with me. Nope. Yeah, there we go. Marvel Comics #1. So I really like to go off these charts, see what the biggest gainers are, see what the biggest losers are. And if I take a look at Marvel Comics #1, the Secret Rare has only gone down 8% in the past 24 hours. And I wonder if that has gone down even more so in the past 24 hours since the actual announcement. So it doesn't look like a whole lot. It looks like we've seen even the ultra rare has gone up 1%, which is interesting. So it looks like people are taking advantage of this gem squeeze at this point in time. Like Marvel Comics #1, the rare has gone up 18%. So that's really interesting to see. So it does look like people are taking advantage of, especially something like this where perhaps people have been holding their Marvel Comics #1 and now they see another grail coming to the market and they want to hop on that. That is very interesting for me to see. So in that case, personally, my attention is not on Marvel Comics #1 at this point in time. I'll be looking at other things that I can pick up, hopefully, and continue to take a look at. Because if I go to comics and I clear Marvel Comics #1, and then I go ahead and say top losers, and hope that loads. But I can hear my computer just struggling right now. So this is where it gets a little bit more difficult because a lot of these comics are not comics that I'm going to want to really focus on. So comics will take a little bit more time for me to actually go through, decide if it's dropped enough. Like these are a lot of commons at 40%. Like what is that from $2.11? Not a huge amount for me to even try to consider that. So my focus will be more so on collectibles. And I think I've already sorted this the last time I checked it for top losers. And I'll just go through this and kind of see where things are sitting currently in the market. Like I've always wanted one of these Aston Martins. The Secret Rares, 500 editions. And this is really interesting to see where it's sitting at currently, where it's been. But that's always skewed when there's so few editions and so few on the market. That gets skewed really quickly. Like there's only 40 on the market, which is actually quite a bit considering the edition amounts. And then comes to other things like do I stack commons or uncommons at a cheaper price, and then as that goes up a good amount, I can just sell them off. Have that gem amount just sitting in my wallet waiting for either the next gem squeeze or waiting for things to settle down in the market around AF15. If you get AF15 on the drop, what are you going to do? Are you going to sell it? Are you going to hold on to it? What's the major game plan for you with AF15 if you get it on the drop? Because, like, I'm on the fence of that as well. Like, if I get a Secret Rare and I see those prices well above the prices that I predict eventually, what am I going to do with that? Am I going to take my profits, or am I going to sit on it hoping that, VeVe is indeed the future, and not take my profits for that and just hope for the best, essentially? Or do I take some of the profits and, especially if I get like a lower digit secret rare, and this is best case scenario, like this is me kind of daydreaming here. But and ask yourself this, so that you can have some sort of a game plan so that you can take more emotion out of this, is that if you get a low digit secret rare, ultra rare, rare, what common, uncommon, whatever it might be, do you sell that when the hype is on AF15 right then and there, and then maybe buy a higher edition number, but still have some of those gems in your wallet for that difference? Like if you're able to sell it for 1,000 gems, like a common low edition, and then you can get back into it at 200 gems a little bit later for a higher edition. Do you do that? Take the 800 net and sort of invest that into other things that you've wanted? And this comes down to a lot of personal for sure when it comes down to this. So let me catch up on chat here. Yada Dog's thinking about, yes, Superman. Thank you for reminding me that. Because I'm trying to go through my head. I had a list somewhere of collectibles that I've had in my mind. I need to redo that list because I get distracted very easily. And I completely forget what I am wanting to go for at times like this. So at the beginning of the year, when we experienced lots of gem squeezes, I tried to take advantage of them as much as possible. I had a list going. I don't know where that list is now. So that's a great point. Superman is high up there on me. I've always wanted a Jim Lee Joker. Golden moments are always on my list. I think those are going to be big. Obviously, like I don't think that's very controversial for me to say. Let's see here. Elsa was really cheap. I don't think I want an Elsa. I don't think I'm that big of a Disney fan to kind of want some of the Disney things. Obviously Marvel's a part of Disney now, Star Wars. So there's things that I like about Disney. There's things that I grew up with. Elsa I didn't grow up with, so it doesn't have that quite appeal for me with Elsa. I can see why it would though, for sure. Mercury Road. Yada Dog. Golden moments are all great prices right now. Yeah, so I'll be taking a look at golden moments here. That will help me decide how much I'm gonna put in tonight on the platform. Right now my mind's fairly set at 1,000, but we'll see. Because right now I'm at a point in my vault that there's nothing I want to sell. I figured, and I'm sure lots of people figured, that this gem squeeze was coming when AF15, and we expected AF15 in August. So I'm sure a lot of people either acted on that. I did. I tried to sell off what I'm willing to sell off at this point. But it still didn't get me a lot of gems because there's so much in my vault that I want to keep. There's things I still have for sale because I guess I was a little bit too late in selling them just before this gem squeeze. So I'm at a point where, you know what, there's nothing I want to sell from my vault. I need to put more fiat in. Yada Dog, I've about 700 gems to play with at the moment. You're doing better than me. MC1 was 90 gems earlier today. It's right up to 100 from what I see on the app now. So it's gone back up quite a bit, or not quite a bit, but 10 gems out of 90, a little bit more than 10% there. Common, yeah, I'd buy a few at 80 maybe. That's a good call. Mercury Road, 55, C3PO, pretty good. Definitely, yes, I want to get my C3PO and R2-D2 eventually. You're saying it's a really good deal. I need to check that out right now then. Disney posters are a sleeper, maybe more risk, but edition size is nice. Yes, that's a good call as well. I'm more so going to focus on characters personally, but if I was into collecting like items, yeah, that would be on my list. I also want to ask you, what is your lowest edition number that you've gotten on the drop? For me, it was the stamps, the most recent stamps with the presidents. I got the Secret Rare number 80, and I've been trying to sell it, actually. That was one that I'm happy to sell, kind of. Winnie the Pooh and Piglets at 117. I also wanted Timon and Pumbaa. That's at 73. R2D2 is at 927. What's Partner Statue at 5.7? I've still got my Iron Man. That'll never leave my vault. And never say never, but yeah. 189 for Donald Daisy. That's another one that I want. And of course, C3PO at 440. That's a good deal. Not financial advice, but also, like, what are we comparing that to? Like, why is that a steal? Is it a steal just because of the all-time highs? Are we gonna get back to those all-time highs? Like, I always have to, when I say something like that, like that's a steal, I have to go back to like ground zero and be like, okay, why is that a steal? And is it actually a steal? Why am I saying that? That's really important for me to do personally. I'm getting an error message here, so I just want to make sure that. When I say something like that. Yeah, we're still live here. So I do always try to check my thinking around something like that. Like, it's a steal if prices go up from here, but our price is going to go up from here. And then I have to revert to like what I think about VeVe in general as a whole, and the timeline as to when I think these are going to kind of pay off a little bit more, and think that way. That's at least the way I tackle things here. I need to get back to comments because I just went on a tangent there. Let's go back here. Yada Dog's also thinking about picking up a Superman. I said that already. Let's see. C3O, pretty good. Disney posters are sleeper. Yes, Mercury Road. Michael Diggs, hold for next bull cycle. Definitely a good call, I think. But when is that bull cycle going to be? Because that's a good question as well. Yada Dog, if I get a secret rare, I will chill for a bit, I think, and see how it goes. If I get a low digit, I'm selling and buying back in. I think that's kind of my game plan as well. I find it hard to sell secret rares. I actually, probably last month or the month before, I got really lucky with a bunch of secret rares. Whatever the President stamp drop was, whatever the Young Avengers and Thor #1, which wasn't a huge comic at all, but I got secret rares on all of those. And then the Young Avengers #1, I got like an 1800 edition for that. So I can't complain with how things have been going. At least the couple months ago, maybe a month ago or so. But whenever I get a secret rare, it's super hard to decide to sell. That's a difficult thing for me to do. So I think, like, when it comes to this, especially when you're paying $20, $6.99, whatever it might be, it's super hard to sell that. Because it costed you next to nothing, and it's worth, what is this one going to be worth? 20 gems it costs you. You get the secret rare. Marvel Comics #1's at, what did I say, 10,000? And it's got a significant more editions, and arguably AF-15 is more important. In terms of character, so Marvel Comics #1, 14,000 is the floor. And then it goes up to 16, 17, 19, 25. And they had 600 editions. So less than half the editions. Does that mean, and not that this is the way the math works, does that mean AF-15 is going to go for more than double that 14,000? Closer to 30,000? It's a hard one to price predict. And then if you get that secret rare, do you look at that $30,000 price tag and think, is it going to go down from here? Do I get that 30,000? That's a tricky thing to do, like to think about. Do I sell it for 30,000? Do I hope it's going to go down to 20,000 someday? and take my $10,000 profit and get right back into it. And then you got to think about the fees and if that's even worth it as well. Capital gains for selling. Um, you almost have to hope that it goes down 50% from what you sold it for to be able to really think about getting back into it. When you're talking about the fees to withdraw, the fees to sell, the fees to sell again in the future if you plan to actually withdraw. Because if you get the secret rare, you sell it, you pay fees in hopes of buying it again, but then eventually someday you're going to sell it or maybe hand it down, but eventually, so let's say you sell it, that's fees again, and then fees to withdraw. Perhaps fees come down to withdraw eventually, but then capital gains tax for selling it in that first place. It's a tough game to kind of think through on what you're going to do. So in that sense, I think you got to hold the secret rare personally. Unless you get a low digit number, unless you get a low edition number, that's a different game for me, because am I super concerned about edition number on a 10,000 drop? Or am I happy to take profit and get a higher edition number on a 10,000 drop? That's every single comics except one is a 4-digit. Like, that's difficult. Let's get back into this here. Comments. If I got a rare or ultra rare, I sell and get a low digit common if possible. Interesting game plan. Crazy Dave 85. I have 150 gems to work with, maybe 200. Not selling anything in my vault. Yeah, especially right now. Like, I never sell during a gem squeeze. I try to play my cards and play the slot machine and try to sell when we kind of know things are coming. Like, we knew AF15 was coming. We figured it was August. They teased it heavily. It wasn't like this was a secret or anything. So I tried to make the moves that I could when I could. And then it just doesn't make sense to sell during a gem squeeze at all. So definitely don't sell anything, especially right now. But I think Crazy Dave, you're kind of referencing what I was saying when I took a look at my vault. I took a look at what collectibles and comics I have, and like, there's nothing I want to sell. Even after this gem squeeze, there's nothing I want to sell, except maybe my secret rare number 80 stamps, and maybe some comics. But the comics don't add up enough to be like worth selling. It's essentially like many commons, many uncommons that I have duplicates of. And then my Thor number 1, I'm happy to sell my secret rare that. Mercury Road 55 says, when I bought Steamboat Willie common for $400, it was a steal at the time. What is that going for right now? I haven't looked at Steamboat Willie in a long time. That's something that when we think about the future and we think about the future of FAs, the community is going to decide the value of FA versus not FA. So I think the community has decided that Steamboat Willie is FA Mickey Mouse. Even though we've got partner statue with the FA on it, I think, with the value that's associated with that Steamboat Willie, obviously with Steamboat Willie being a significant piece in and of itself, it's a difficult thing to kind of think about in the future. FAs versus non-FAs. I think FAs are always going to be significant, but there's going to be more pieces that are very significant, whether that's their historical value or whether it's the first FA of that character on VeVe was in combination with another character, and now we get it. Like, say we get a Flash, I think we'll still have a very high value placed on Flash, even though we've got FA Flash with Superman battle statue Flash. So that's always something to look at, as well as like historically significant pieces like Steamboat Willie as well. Steamboat Willie's got that going for it, the historical significance, as well as it's FA like first Mickey Mouse other than him together on the partner statue. So two things going for it with that. Yeah, dog. That's a good point. As it's hard to know in the current market. Absolutely. I think could be 30K to start. We'll drop a bit and we'll then run up. From what I've heard in the community, there's lots of people that have gems ready to just stack these things. So I think right away we're going to see a lot that price run up pretty quickly. But because of that, I think people will be on the fence of whether or not they should hold it or not. They'll see that price run up, and then it just takes one of them to undercut, and then somebody else that was on the fence about selling sees the price start dropping, and then a bunch of people. So that at that point, it depends on, are the whales at their limit with how much they're going to purchase of this 10,000 editions. Like, when I think about that now, it's not a lot. They can be eaten up really quickly. Are we going to see a 30,000 secret rare? And then what are the commons are going to go for? What are the uncommons going to go for? There's a lot of thinking that I need to do surrounding this and my game plan, my strategy for this. But right now my strategy is taking advantage of this gem squeeze, personally. A low digit could go up to 100K. So if there is a 1962 secret rare, what's that going to go for? That's going to go to the moon. Mercury Road 55. A big factor will also be how fast these are distributed. Huge factor. And I think like there'd be a lot of people putting load on the systems. But 10,000 editions, it shouldn't take too long for them to distribute those. But that's also perspective. 10,000 editions going out could not take long, but it's also in the hands of less people, which could slowly kind of there's a lot to think about with that distribution wise and how that's going to play a role on a 10,000 edition drop, the load that'll be on the systems with how many people are going to be going for it. Yadadog says, yeah, plus a lot of people will lock up in the vault and won't sell. Yeah, I think that's going to be a huge factor for this. We've been waiting for this for a long time, like from the moment that people started talking more and more about AF15 all the way up until this past month when we got the last community updates and Dave and Dan were showing us their slabs of AF15. We knew this was coming. It's a huge, and you know what? Really good on VeVe. This is huge for VeVe, and it's huge for us to be here and to still be early on this platform to be able to take advantage of something like this. But also, like, round of applause for VeVe to get into this point through everything, through cash out, through KYC, and being able to release one of the most valuable comics in the world on their platform for the first time in a digital edition. VeVe's done amazing here. So that's huge. Yadadog says smash the like button. Thank you so much, Yadadog. Smash that like button or gently tap it, whatever you want to do for that. Crazy Dave 85 says, I know not financial advice, but would you recommend commons if they are between 200 to 300 gems? The way I'm doing very, very, very simple math for this, and this isn't like, like you said, this isn't financial advice, and I haven't put a lot of thought, honestly, into this, Crazy Dave. But the way I'm thinking about this, and I'm actually going to pull up a couple of different things here, so stick with me for this. I'm gonna do like a very simple math, and this is gonna get me an inflated price, I think. But I'm gonna take a look at Marvel Comics #1. Oh, and let's see here. Here we go. So Marvel Comics #1 has 60,000 editions, but it comes down to the edition number. Like, there's 600 secret rares, but there's gonna be 250 AF. So does that mean we double what that secret rare is at as a very simple math price prediction for this. So if I say that, and I'm going to pull up this now while I'm thinking about it, and I'll show you what I'm pulling up here so you don't have to look at my face while I do this. I'm also going to write down my price predictions. But these aren't my price predictions. This is like my starting point to get to my price predictions. So like step number 1 here. So don't hold me to this at all, please. Marvel Comics, number 1. And you should be making your own price predictions as well for this. So let's see. Really quickly, Lamb or IM Platinum, what's your best card in Hero DC NFT? My best digital card is this Superman A2 from the Super Strength set. That's an edition out of, I don't even know how many editions there were for that. My best physical card is, I've got it here, I just had to go through all my cards to find it, is my Joker Mythic. I think it's like 150, no, it's higher than that because that's an edition out of 1,000. It's like a 400 edition Joker Mythic. Thank you for asking. I'm still very much interested in Hero. And the Hero actually burned all their Green Lantern packs. So those packs are worth more. And I think those cards are going to be worth more. Because we'll never get those packs back. We'll never get those cards inside of those packs back. Which makes every mint number decrease with that. I think they only sold like a third of the packs. And I still have 5 packs. So I think I got to take a look at that too. Thank you for reminding me on that. Let me get back to talking about price predictions here. Let's bring this up. Okay. So we've got 600 secret rares for Marvel Comics number 1. We've got 250 for AF15. Does that mean we more than double? What? I'm still having trouble logging into the VeVe web app. So 11,900. I think last time I saw it was at 14,000. So what is secret rare going to be like 25k? Does that make sense? 250 editions is not a lot. 25k for the secret rare. Ultra rare Marvel Comics. I guess I can go. Oh, that's number listed. Let's go Marvel Comics. Ultra rare, 2,400 editions, and there's 500 of the AF15. That's 5 times the amount. Does that mean it's going to be 5 times 500? 2,500? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. The rare 3,000 editions of Marvel Comics number 1. And AF15 is 100, so 3 times that. And the rare is sitting at 250. So 3 times that, 750. It's my math right there. Rare 1,000, 3,000, 3 times 250. Then we got the common and the uncommon. The common, Marvel Comics number 1, or sorry, let's do uncommon, 6,000. There's 2,250. So a little bit less than 3 times that for the uncommon. 300 for the uncommon. And then finally, we've got the common, 48,000. That's tons. It really drops off after that common. Marvel Comics number 1. That makes me want to get the uncommon more than anything. At the price that I can afford, personally. Rather than the common. And then 6,000. So what was I saying there? 48,000, 6,000. What is that? 6, 8? 8 times? 800? Wouldn't make sense that the common goes for that much more than the uncommon. So perhaps that is off there. But I like, yeah. If you followed along with me there, just based on those multiples, this is definitely not my price prediction. But based on how many rarities we have, of Marvel #1, and then multiplying that to get to what we're going to get for AF15. So AF15 to Marvel Comics, and where Marvel Comics is sitting right now in the market, we've got, and once again, this is not my price prediction. This is a good starting point for me to then think about popularity and think about a lot of different factors that go into me setting a point to which, if I see this below this price prediction in the market, it makes sense for me to pick it up if I've got the gems available. Common 800, uncommon 300. That doesn't make sense to me, so that's got to be fudged a bit. Rare 750, ultra rare 2500, secret rare 25,000. Once again, that's just based on looking at the multiple between AF15, the edition size, between the different rarities to get to the Marvel Comics #1, using that multiple to multiply by the floor price for Marvel Comics #1 to get each of these. Now, AF15 has it sold for what I think is the #1 most expensive comic. Even though I've heard that there was a private sale for Superman #1 that's more, but something like that. So like this puts it, and that's also skewed as well. Like it's not as scarce in the physical world as Marvel Comics #1, as far as I know. But it goes for more. At least it's sold for more at this point in time, up until this point. So, but there's many different factors that play into that as well that you need to consider, like who's selling, who wants to buy, at what point in time, etc., etc. Let me get back to comments here before I forget. Yada Dog, VeVe been smashing it lately. They've been on a roll. We are still so early. We're incredibly early. Until VeVe launches like a large scale marketing and we start to see people talk about VeVe as opposed to people in the community talk about VeVe, that's when we'll see things really take off. Kind of like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. When it's out of the news, there's no hype around it. When it's in the news, that's when you should have already bought. So this is what I'll be looking for, these catalysts for VeVe to really take off. You've been here since February this year, but I live the community, or you love the community so much. I absolutely do too. Lots of great content creators, lots of great people. Thank you so much for being here in the chat. Thank you for humoring me and speaking with me. I love, this is why I started the channel. And I want to do more lives, because getting this like back and forth, you know, like I always say, whether you agree with me, disagree with me, I love to hear from you and hear you in the chat. So thank you for being here. I really do appreciate that. If you appreciate any of the content or just being here in general, I would love a like on this video. That really does help me in growing this channel and in whatever I'm trying to do with this channel at this point in time. But just being here, I do really appreciate you for that. Pasternak88 says, want the ultra rare. I have 900 gems and 2 Superman. Amazing. Superman has got to be one of the best looking collectibles on the platform. Superman is a great looking collectible. Was thinking of selling a Superman to have enough for it. What do you think? I wouldn't. And this isn't financial advice. Just because you'd have to sell that right now. Well, I mean, depending on when you're thinking about picking it up. But I wouldn't sell anything right now during a gem squeeze. And who knows what Superman's at. Maybe it stayed fairly steady during this gem squeeze. So maybe I don't know anything I'm talking about here. But let me pull that up. Personally, I made a rule for myself that I do not sell during gem squeezes. And from what I see, 770, 720. Since the announcement, doesn't look like we're down a whole lot for Superman. More than 10%. More than 10% from August 5th, but it's higher than its most recent lowest low, which was 680. So, I mean, it's mostly up to you for that, but personally, I don't sell during gem squeezes, honestly. That's a tough one to do. But if you see it go up in price and it's you want to get in on AF15, it just depends like what you value more, really. Superman's a tough one to get rid of because that's an FA. That's a very important character. Yeah, what do you do? If I was making the plan for tonight leading up to the drop tomorrow, I personally wouldn't sell during the gem squeeze. But if this was a larger plan for you to see what happens with AF15 after the drop, does the price start coming down? Does Superman start going up in price? Do you sell then to be able to capitalize on that? That might be a way that you go about it. If you know what, you've got one Superman, you don't need to. If that's the way you want to look at it, that's kind of how I would look at it. I would kind of play my cards a little bit differently, rather than making that decision right now. But thank you for the question, Pasternak. Mercury Road 55. It's listings that will drive it for the secret rare. Typical drop about 20% gets listed. May not be the case here if it only 10 hit the market at first. Yeah, because this is such a big drop and there's so few. Let me take a quick drink here. Because this is such a big drop and there's only 250, how many secret rares are going to be listed on the market? Like, really? 20% would be 40? I think we'll see less than that, to be honest. So that's gonna drive the value for sure. But will that drive the value, to what we're predicting at? Like, say, like Yadadog is saying here, secret rare 20 to 30K, right? Platinum, what was the lowest mint number you got? Is that for VeVe or Hero? If it's Hero, lowest mint number A2. That's A2, not 82. So that's definitely my lowest mint number. If we're talking about VeVe, my lowest mint number is 80. So that was the secret rare stamp collection drop. The latest one, the President's. And Mercury Road 55, Avengers 8 Kang, also a 10K drop. Obviously far less important, but gives another data point. That's a very, very good point. Yadadog, you are doing an awesome job. Thanks, Yadadog. I really, really do appreciate that. Avengers 8 is a good, also, data point. So once again, I do appreciate you all joining me here for this. Trying to bring up Avengers 8 to be able to see that, but it is struggling like I am here. Avengers 8, at least let's look at the secret rare if I can bring that up. Ultra rare, at least is sitting at 700. Rare 190, uncommon 93, secret rare 4500. So definitely a good data point there. So that's a 250 listing. Avengers number 8, 4500. So how much more important is AF15 than Avengers number 8? Obviously much more, but a very good data point to bring up there. I didn't even think about that. So thank you to Mercury Road 55 for that. Yadadog also says, I think Superman could drop tomorrow, but we'll pump after AF15. I think we'll still see things dropping leading up to the drop in price. Dropping in price, not drops in general. But, yeah. Very, very interesting time with AF15 here. I'm excited about tomorrow. I'm going to be getting off shortly here soon, so if you have any more questions, comments, leave them in the chat. If you're watching this afterwards, anything that I asked during this, comment section below, I'll respond to anybody and everybody. Platinum says, Hero A2, how much is it actually worth though? It's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. So I think when I first got it, Hero still had some momentum. I tried listing it for like 20,000 just because it was A2. Nobody obviously paid for that. What is it actually worth? It's a tough one. Like those really low mints, the market for them is so small. So you have to really catch the right buyer. So the best way to go about it is to look at what's sold on the market. And like I think there was an A4 Superman that sold, but I think it was only like 4,000 or 5,000. So how much is A2? How much more is A2 worth than A4? Maybe like 6,000, 7,000. But I don't think I would come anywhere close to getting that in the market where it currently is right now, in this bear market. So I'm holding for a much longer term for Hero. I'm not worried about what the value is going to be. The pack cost me $50. I got a card that's worth more than $50. So that's kind of what the mindset that I kind of take with that. I'm happy to stick with what I've gotten and just hold on to it. Same kind of mindset I carry with VeVe as well. There's not many cards on Hero that I've sold unless it's to get like another card, almost like a trade, but monetary value. Crazy Dave 85. Sorry, just wanted to share. I bought 4 Green Lantern packs and was able to get both legendaries. Amazing. Initially, just wanted to flip some cards. Ended up completing the set. Congratulations, Dave. I had the same mindset. So I bought 5 packs initially. I opened 4. Didn't get anything. Not even good mints. So I kept 1. And then I bought 4 more just before the burn. And then I'm sure you know that we're going to be getting a Batman Green Lantern airdrop to us, which is really, really cool that they did that. So anybody, Hero's in such an amazing place for their future because of everything that they're doing, like with airdrops and these badges that you get and snapshots for the leaderboard and completing a set and the airdrops that you get for those. Like there's no limit to what they can do. So the next thing that they've done is if you purchased a Green Lantern pack, you get airdropped a Green Lantern Batman. And so that's going to be interesting for future drops with these packs. Is everybody going to buy at least 1 pack just because they might get airdropped a card? That's going to raise the amount of packs that people purchase from Hero now. Because they saw this Green Lantern set, maybe they didn't go for it, but then they saw that people that purchased the Green Lantern packs actually get this airdrop, so in the future they're going to be purchasing at least 1 pack of every drop, so that gets more and more interesting with Hero. I do like talking about Hero. We did run out of time today for that though. My voice is starting to go. I'd already done a lot of talking today as it was, but I did want to come on here to say hi. Every Sunday I do a live stream, and this was the perfect Sunday to be able to talk about AF number 15. Yada Dog, great stream. Good luck tomorrow to you yourself, Yada Dog, as well as to Crazy Dave 85. Let me go through everyone here. I am Platinum, Pasternak 88, Mercury Road 55. Thank you to all of you that left messages in the chat. Good luck tomorrow. I hope you get a secret rare. I hope you get a low-digit secret rare, much like what I will be getting, fingers crossed. As well as any of you that joined in here, I do appreciate you, whether you left something in the chat, whether you left something in comments, if you smash that like button, whatever it might be. If you subscribed during this, thank you so much. I do wish you the best of luck tomorrow, as well as anybody and everybody that joins in this stream after the fact and catches this stream. If you leave anything in the comments section, I will definitely get back to you. I respond to anybody and everybody, and I do really appreciate your time in joining me here today. You could be with a lot of different people, but you chose to be here with me to talk about my strategy with AF15. As you can see, I went through a bunch of different things that I'm thinking about, and it was great to hear what you're thinking about and what your strategy is with AF15, because that helps me also refine my strategy. A lot of things that I kind of take into factor for that, and I'm going to continue to refine that strategy as we come to a close here in tonight, and then leading in tomorrow for AF15 and the drop that's coming to VeVe. Once again, congratulations to my collectibles. That's collectibles with an A if you're not from Canada or Britain. For getting that recognition from VeVe and having Alex announce AF15 on his live stream. That was really, really incredible, and good on VeVe and Alex for doing that and recognizing Aaron over there at My Collectibles. Really, really cool to see that, as well as congratulations to VeVe for AF15 dropping that for us and everything that they have gone through and done, and the enjoyment that they've brought to everyone on VeVe thus far. So congratulations to those. Congratulations to everybody, and everybody gets the drop tomorrow. And if you are listening to this tomorrow after the drop, let me know what you got in the comment section below. Thank you to everyone that watched.